If I lost everything financially and had to start over tomorrow, I would not try to get rich fast. I would do something way less exciting and way more effective. Because most people don't stay broke because they don't make enough money. They stay broke because they rebuild in the wrong order. And if you're overwhelmed right now, debt, bills, no savings, starting from zero, this video could genuinely save you years of stress. The Reset Plan. Step 1. What I'd do in the first 7 days. The first 7 days are not about being perfect. They're about stopping the bleeding. That's it. If I had to start over, here's what I would do immediately. Day 1. Get brutally clear. I would open every single account. Checking, savings, credit cards, loans. Buy now, pay later. Any money I owe family or friends. Then I'd make one simple list. How much money is coming in? How much money is going out? What debts are overdue? What bills matter most right now? No fancy spreadsheet required. A notes app is enough, because you cannot fix what you're still avoiding. First win, face the numbers. And here's the truth nobody likes hearing. The scariest part is usually before you look, not after. Day 2. Separate essentials from fake essentials. I would split my monthly spending into just 2 buckets. Essentials, rent, groceries, transport, utilities, minimum debt payments, insurance, phone plan if needed for work. Everything else, takeout subscriptions, impulse, shopping, convenience, spending tiny purchases that somehow become huge. This part matters because when money is tight, I don't know where it goes, is not a mystery. It's usually death by 40 small cuts. That is fixable. Don't guess. Calculate. Day 3 to day 7. Build a survival budget. Not your dream budget. Not your forever budget. A survival budget. That means every dollar has one of 3 jobs. Keep me housed, keep me working, keep me from going deeper into chaos. That's the filter. If an expense doesn't help with one of those 3 things, it gets cut, paused, reduced, or questioned. Crossing out subscriptions, meal prep, using public transport. Pattern interrupt. You do not need a budget that feels balanced. At the beginning, you need a budget that keeps your life from falling apart. Step 2. What I'd cut immediately. This is where people get defensive, because nobody likes hearing that the small stuff matters. But if I had to start over, I would cut fast and without emotion. For at least 30 to 60 days, I would pause. Unused subscriptions, food delivery, random online shopping, premium memberships, upgrades. I do not need expensive habits tied to stress. And yes, that includes the spending that feels deserved. Because when you are financially unstable, treating yourself every week can quietly turn into sabotaging yourself every month. Temporary cuts, permanent breathing room. Here's a simple example to understand. 3 streaming services, $45. Delivery fees and markups, $120. Impulse shopping, $100. Coffee/snacks on the go, $80. One small weekend overspend, $100. That's $445 a month. That could be your emergency fund starting point extra debt payoff groceries for half the month, the difference between panic and breathing room. The mistake I would avoid this time is pretending every expense is too small to matter, because small leaks sink real budgets. Step 3. How I'd rebuild the budget. Once the bleeding stops, I would build a simple budget I could actually follow, not a complicated system that looks good on paper and dies by Wednesday. I'd use this. The 4-bucket budget. Bucket 1. Fixed costs. Rent, utilities, minimum debt payments, insurance, phone. Bucket 2. Variable essentials. Groceries, transport, basic household needs. Bucket 3. Financial repair, emergency fund, and debt payoff. Bucket 4. Personal spending. A small amount for real life, so I don't snap and binge spend later. Fixed. Variable. Repair. Personal. Let's use $2,000 income as an example. Fixed costs, $1,100. Variable essentials, $350. Financial repair, $400. Personal spending, $150. Now compare that to what most people do. They spend first, react later, and hope the math works out. It never does. Pattern interrupt. A budget is not a restriction system. It's a decision system. If your budget only tells you what you can't do, you'll quit. If it tells you what your money is supposed to do, you'll stick with it longer. And one practical move I'd make here. I would automate the important stuff. The day income comes in, I would move money immediately for bills, emergency savings, minimum debt payments. Because if I trust whatever is left at the end of the month, there will be nothing left. Step 4. How I'd handle debt. This is where most people mess this up. They attack debt emotionally instead of strategically. If I had to start over, I would do this in order. First, stay current if possible. Before trying to aggressively pay things down, I would protect the basics. Keep essential bills paid and avoid new late fees wherever I can. Because when you're drowning, extra penalties are like trying to swim with bricks in your pockets. Second, pick one debt strategy and stick to it. There are 2 simple options. Debt snowball. Pay off the smallest balance first for momentum. Debt avalanche. Pay off the highest interest rate first to save more money. If I needed motivation, I'd use snowball. If I could stay disciplined, I'd use avalanche. Either one works. The real mistake is switching every month because you're frustrated. Best method equals the one you actually follow. Let's say you have credit card. Oh, $500. Credit card. B, $2,000. Personal loan, $4,000. If I were exhausted and discouraged, I might hit the $500 first just to get a win. That closed account creates momentum, and momentum matters more than finance people like to admit. Third, stop adding new debt. This sounds obvious, but this is where the reset fails for a lot of people. If I'm paying off debt with one hand and swiping the card with the other, I'm not rebuilding. I'm performing recovery. That's a hard truth, but it's an important one. Cutting up card, removing saved card details from apps. And if interest rates are brutal, I would also look into lower interest consolidation or balance transfer options, but only if it lowers the cost and doesn't create a false sense of freedom. Because a lower payment is helpful. A lower payment plus new spending is a trap. Step 5. How I'd build an emergency fund. What I'd do before investing again might surprise you. I would build a small emergency fund first, even before going hard on extra investing. Why? Because without cash buffer, every problem goes back on the credit card. Car repair? Card. Medical issue? Card. Unexpected bill? Card. Then you're making progress and falling backward at the same time. So my first target would not be some huge 6-month number. That can come later. My first target would be $500, then $1,000, then 1 month of essential expenses. Target 1, $500. Target 2, $1,000. Target 3, 1 month essentials. If your essential monthly costs are $1,500, that means first mini goal, $500. Second, $1,000. Third, $1,500. That first $500 changes your stress level more than people think. Pattern interrupt. Financial progress is not just about net worth. It's about how often life can hit you without knocking you flat. I would keep that emergency fund in a separate savings account, not mixed with spending money. not invested, not somewhere annoying to access, but not too easy either. The job of this money is not growth, it's protection. Step 6, when I'd start investing again. Only after 3 things are true. I can cover my bills consistently. I have a starter emergency fund. My debt situation is under control. Notice I didn't say, when everything is perfect, because if you wait for perfect, you wait forever. But I also would not rush into investing just because social media told me I'm behind. That pressure ruins people. Stability before speed. If I had access to retirement matching through work, I would seriously consider contributing enough to get the match once I had basic stability, because that's hard to beat. After that, I would keep investing simple. Not hype, not stock picking because I'm bored, not trying to recover lost time in 1 year. Just consistent, boring, automatic investing. Because the version of me starting over does not need more excitement. He needs a system. And here's the part people don't say enough. You do not rebuild wealth by making one brilliant move. You rebuild it by making fewer expensive mistakes. Step 7, the mindset shifts that stop the cycle. This part matters more than any budget template, because if your habits and beliefs stay the same, new income just disappears faster. Here are the mindset shifts I'd lock in if I were starting over. 1. I would stop using money to calm myself down. A lot of bad spending is not about stuff. It's about stress, boredom, reward, and avoidance. If every rough week earns a financial treat, the math eventually breaks. So I'd ask a better question before buying anything. Am I solving a problem or soothing a feeling? That question alone can save people hundreds every month. 2. I would stop trying to look okay. This one is brutal. A lot of people stay financially stuck because they want to appear stable more than they want to become stable. Nice car, expensive phone, picking up tabs, buying things to keep up. Meanwhile, the account is gasping for air. If I had to start over, ego would have to get smaller. Fast. Appear rich or become stable. Pick one. 3. I would make boring my advantage. Boring wins in personal finance. Paying bills on time. Cooking at home more often. Automating savings. Avoiding lifestyle creep. Saying no to dumb purchases. That's not sexy. But sexy is expensive. And stability is underrated until you don't have it. 4. I would measure progress differently. Not by having a perfect month, never making a mistake, suddenly becoming good with money. I'd measure progress by fewer late fees, less financial anxiety, a growing cash buffer, lower debt balances, more control each month. Because if you're waiting to feel amazing before you admit you're improving, you'll miss the fact that your life is already getting better. The payoff. What this rebuild actually creates. If I followed this plan for 6 to 12 months, here's what I'd expect. Less chaos, fewer money emergencies, a budget that actually works, debt moving in the right direction, some savings for the first time in a while, way less shame around money. And that last one matters, because rebuilding your finances is not just math, it's identity. It's proving to yourself that you can be the kind of person who faces problems early, makes hard decisions, and creates stability on purpose. Not perfectly, but consistently. If I had to start over, I would not focus on getting rich. I would focus on getting stable, then consistent, then stronger, then wealthy. In that order. Because money gets lighter when you stop trying to fix everything at once and start fixing the next right thing. So if you're starting over, this is the part to remember. You do not need a miracle. You need a reset, a real one. And those work. You don't need a miracle. You need a reset. If this hit close to home, drop a comment with the step you're starting with first. And if you want more no-nonsense videos about rebuilding, budgeting, and getting financially calm again, subscribe.